We're Byron and Jill, two hands-on people with big dreams. In 2024, we jumped headfirst into our off-grid dream and purchased a 100-acre block at Mount Binga. After relocating here in 2025, our big goal right now is transforming this incredible century-old Ashgrovian Queenslander into our forever home. This isn't just a renovation, it's a complete transformation, a huge project demanding a lot of energy and time, and it's going to take everything we've got. And we'd love to have you along for the ride. Every challenge, every triumph, every step of the way.
Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Off Grid at Mount Binga. Day 3 on the carport build. Yesterday was probably, a bit less than half a day, so technically it's really day 2 still, but it is the third day in the calendar week. Anyway, today's the big day. We're going to lift up some beams and actually get started on a few things, but before that we've got a fair bit of preparation. We've got to cut some posts, get our heights worked out, get some lifting gear organised. We can't lift up these 80 kilo beams by hand, so we'll figure out a way. There's always a way, you just got to figure it out. Anyway, we'll get stuck into it again this morning, see what progress we can make today. I have a feeling it's going to be a good day. The weather's absolutely beautiful. Let's get into it.
By now, we're pretty sure more than a few of you are feeling a strong sense of deja vu. Yep, it's another day on the tools, and we're not working on the old Queenslander. Guilty as charged. But this carport is actually a pretty big deal for us. It's more than just steel posts, beams and roofing sheets. It'll keep our vehicles protected from the harsh sun and pouring rain and the occasional hailstorm. It'll give us some much needed shaded work areas up here at the house. And best of all, it'll become the home for our solar array and battery bank setup, which is pretty exciting. Once it's up, we'll jump straight back into the house reno. In the meantime though, we hope you'll hang around. We've got some practical tips coming up, a quick trigonometry lesson, and another tool time talk from the qualified builder himself. Let's get into it.
Oh, the Bobcat does such a nice job. It's so easy to drive. It's just the old school lever system, no electronics, or bare minimum electronics. That's why I love it. It's small but mighty. Cleans the job up, no worries at all. And then the Bobcat's going to help us lift the big stuff. Okay, George.
Now, Byron might be mighty, but stupid he definitely is not. Like always, he's got a solid plan up his sleeve. Yes, the sleeves are back, it being autumn and all. This plan involves the Bobcat, a genie lift, some trusty fasty straps, a ladder, and later on, Kerry jumps back in again as his offsider. Here's how it all comes together.
Just like that. We're ready to cut some posts down. Let's do some maths. Okay, before we start hacking into these, we need to work out our height or establish our height. This is going to be continuous along this side, and then we're going to raise up 5 degrees over 8 meters, pitching up to the high side of the roof. And then those there will be cut all the same. We're working on an angle like this, facing the north. So all we need to do is establish our height. Now what we're going to do is work on having 100 mil off the ground to start with. This might be for concrete in the future, or it might be just for gravel. We don't know yet. But we're going to work on 100 mil off the ground, and to the lowest point of this carport, we're chasing 2400. Plus the 100 mil is 2500. And from there, we need to then go the thickness of the big beam itself, which is 300 mil. So 2800 is right up to there. So now I have that height there marked. That's our cut. There's our lowest point of the roof itself. And I can't even touch that. It's above me. So every car will fit under that. And most likely I'll park on this side on the right. Jilly will park on the left. We're going to gain about 500 mil over the span of this carport. So we'll end up somewhere around 3 meters up on that side in the air. That's plenty enough room for having a camper on top of the car as we drive in after a good holiday. So now all we need to do is square that around so I can make the first cut. I'm going to mark it out with Nico pen. I've got that point right there. Now, most importantly, to be consistent going that way, we're not just going to measure off the ground. That's why having a datum point or a reference point is so important. We set that day 2 yesterday. So I've got that marked down here. All I have to do is measure from that datum line up to our cut, which is 980 mil. 980. Now the easiest thing then is when I get to the next post, I measure up 980 mil off that datum. The next one, 980 mil off that datum. So on and so forth. Pretty straightforward. That's the start right there. Let's cut some steel posts. This little saw right here is my Makita metal cutting cold saw. They reckon it cuts cold, but I do see some little sparks come out every now and then, but they cool down very quickly. They get caught in this little cartridge here. That stops them from flying around into your face. You know, you're always cutting, sparks are flying everywhere. I prefer this over a grinder most of the time. It's a lot more steady to control. It has enough power to cut through that 6mm steel, and also it's just 18 volt. It runs off one battery. Just remember, when you're cutting colorbond steel or roofing materials, you should never cut it with the grinder because it voids the warranty. The heat that comes from the grinder when you're cutting it will cause rust in the future, and then if you have a rusted sheet in 10 years and you go to claim warranty, it will not pass. Get yourself a cold saw if you need it. They're specifically designed for cutting metal. Don't go and put a metal cutting blade into a timber saw because they spin too fast and you'll dull the blade quicker than you think. Also, it's just not good for the other saw. These saws are specifically designed to cut metal, and they spin at a lower speed than a timber saw. So this is specifically for cutting metal. Anyway, tool talk over. Let's get back into it. perfect cut. Our datum line is at 980, which gets us up to that height there, right? That top height there. So that datum line is the same over here. And what we've got is an 8 metre span. It's not quite 8, remember? It was 78.30. There's a span. And it's got a 5-degree pitch. So on the calculator, all I do is go 10, 5 equals 0.87. So that's how much it will rise over 1 millimetre. Then I go times 7,830. So I've got a 685 millimetre rise over that distance there. That's at 5 degrees. So from our 980 mark, from our datum up to our 980, we then need to add that on because we're going up. So we've got 5, 6, 1, 7, 16. So our new measurement off our datum over here will be 1665 millimetres. And that's our cut there. Makes sense? Good. From the datum, we had 980 plus the difference, so our maths was 1665. Right there. That's our new cut from our datum up there, Kerry.
That what we guessed before, wasn't that 300?
Yeah, that's right.
How's that lined up with the roof there?
Yeah, that's a good question. What did we have on that? It was 3 point... What was that off the ground, that roof? So we're at 32.30. That's going to nearly be right, eh?
Spot on. Close enough.
Yep, because we're going to put a roof batten on it and then the capping, tin, and then the capping sort of wraps over the top of that. It's going to be really close.
So, with that little tangential maths interlude wrapped up, and that pun was intended, it was time to get those high side stumps cut to size. And now it was time to let the tools do the heavy lifting. Work smarter, not harder.
Oh, it's going to be good down this end already.
Yeah, he's got me tight. Just got to roll it over and on.
Yeah,
It's nearly there, are we?
yeah, you moved past it.
Too
I
high.
think. You passed it.
Alright, do you want to stand here, please, Terry?
Yeah.
You don't have to push it or do anything. I'm just going to obviously come down. And I'm going to get up there and roll it. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Up comes Kerry. Okay, down a little bit.
Here we go.
Okay. Okay, let's go. I'll get in the middle again. Ready when you are, Carey.
Up.
Yeah. Rightio. Okay. If you can come back in, Carey, I've got it. If you can go up please. Yep. There she is. Down, please.
Just go come over towards me. Half an inch.
In length.
No, at the top.
Yeah, the length.
No, push it towards me or to go over the top.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, just go down, please. Yeah, good on, Carey. That'll do. That seems like it's hooked there. Cha. All right, Carey, up please. Nice and steady. Down. There you go. Perfect. All right, Carey, you're safe to come down. So we're going to also spin this one around, which I'm going to do with the bobcat. Okay. Yeah, it's good enough for now.
Yeah,
How's that bobcat though?
easy peasy.
Little mighty bobcat, eh? What a beauty. Just stop there, Carey. I'm just gonna Try and push it that way a little bit. If you can just hold that, yeah. Yeah, excellent. Up you go. All right, Kerry, that's pretty close. Yeah, it's got like stage 2 in the gearing. It gets hit harder, but it spins faster, which is the opposite to what I thought it should do. I thought it would gear down as you got higher, not gear up. But anyway. Oh, up ever so slightly, please. There you go. Down. There you are. Thanks, Kerry. Gets easier as we go. Ready when you are. Whoa! Down. Beautiful. Right there. Absolutely beautiful. All right, we might wheel him over here, Kerry, and we'll do these. So I've actually got to put up that bracket first, and they want to sit 91 mil higher at this end and 107 at that end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That button's 100. Just going to read that plan again. We might have smoko, Kerry.
Yep.
It's a bit earlier than normal, but I was up here a bit earlier. I'm pretty starving.
The boys are back at it again now. These roof battens are 100mm wide and 100mm tall. Each fixing point got 4 screws into it, and there was plenty of surface area on top of the beam for this to happen. This also gave a good hold down rather than the 2 screws that the plans called for. To speed things up, Byron put the scaffold between 2 battens so he could lay out and screw 2 at a time, and Kerry would pick up and pass from the layout on the floor, making sure all of the overlaps in the middle were exactly the same and consistent. This process took no time at all.
So we've just finished our lunch, and we've got all our roof battens up. You can see they're all screwed off. The structure's coming up super strong. We're just about to get stuck into some bracing. few cross braces, we'll show you that. And we'll try and wrap the afternoon up with getting it all braced up, ready to go for first thing in the morning. We'll be throwing sheets up.
Remember that deja vu feeling at the start of the episode? Some parts of a build are almost identical, and some might say a bit boring. But to us, it's all progress. The cross braces here are what'll hold the whole carport structure rock solid in place. They'll stop it shifting or racking in the wind. And without them, over time, prevailing breezes could push the whole thing sideways. Until one day, well, you know those old sheds you drive past, leaning like they're about to topple? That's exactly what happens without proper bracing. So these metal straps get 4 screws at every fixing point. There's no shortcuts on strength up here at Mount Binga.
Have we? Oh yeah, I see. How does it look up the top, Kerry? Oh, beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah. Yep. Is that high enough? That's safe for tonight, Kerry. In case we get a wind or something. That's all.
Oh yeah, get the screws in there.
I just wanted to tack it down properly.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that.
Well, this brings the end of day 3 to a close. We got a couple of roof sheets on. We couldn't help ourselves. Want to make sure everything fits. You've always got that little bit of worry where you're wondering, I don't want to be losing sleep over it tonight. Now we can sleep easy and tomorrow brings an easy day. All we've got to do now is sheet it. It's coming together real quick, real easy, real nice, and square, plumb. What more could you want? We'll finally have some shade here soon. Couldn't do it without the help of Kerry, so thanks very much.
And with that, the frame's finally locked in. And we're almost back to the Queenslander. But not yet. Next up, we'll finish putting on the sheets. And then maybe a little surprise with the solar install. Stay tuned.